Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday night hangout in the chill room. And there's a few of us that have an interest in something we weren't able to attend, and that is NAMM. But we also have people that were there, and we have people that have been there in the past. And with that, I will turn it over to Eric. Eric, this was your idea, so let's go with it.
Howie, I don't want the responsibility. This is too much for me.
Too much?
So I've been to NAMM a few times. I've been with a bunch of the guys that are in the room here. This is a fantastic trade show. This is where a lot of the companies will debut the newest and the greatest products. I didn't have the chance to be there this year, so I asked a couple of my friends, Jay Brand and also Jeffrey Kwan. Jay is a Pioneer representative. Jeffrey Kwan is a family-owned business for how many years, Jeff? How many years you guys been in business?
You're muted, Jeff.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Got it.
We've been doing business for 48 years in New York City.
Wow. So we've got a unique perspective tonight of somebody who was exhibiting and somebody who went there to observe. So I thought the idea, because, Brian, I didn't have a chance to go. Brian didn't have a chance to go. Some of the other guys weren't in attendance, but we had eyes on the floor, and I figured let's see what they saw. So why don't we go to Jay first? Jay, you were there as an exhibitor with Pioneer.
Yep.
What was the overall experience this year? How did you feel attendance was, the energy levels?
It was good. This was the first year they've gone to 3 days on a weekend. It's always been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday would be the slowest of the 4 days. So they decided to get people more interested that they would cut it to 3 days. So you still have the Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, then no Sunday. I've done 20 NAMMs. This was not a busy NAMM. The energy was great, but the attendance wasn't. Somebody came by that was new to NAMM on the middle of Saturday, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" I'm like, "This is like a Good Friday." Like, seriously, I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's normally much busier."
Yeah.
So
I second that. Yep.
Yeah, I think last year they did 80,000. I think my first NAMM they reported to do 135, I think, or 130. So they were hoping to go up 20% this year. So I haven't seen the last numbers.
Right.
It was under 100 grand, because I know 100 grand NAMM and it's slamming.
For sure.
But that said, we had a very good booth. We normally do. We're in a great area around other DJ companies. We're next to Mixware. We're next to American DJ. We're in front of ProX. We're near Jetpack. We're near 12-inch skins. So we're in a little DJ community. And if you guys remember when you were last there, it never used to be like that. It used to be like here's us next to a trombone maker behind a sheet music person. Like, Brian, remember the year LD was right behind us?
Yeah.
You're like, you got to see these speakers. And I'm like, where?
Yeah, that was when they did the G2s for the first time, the Maui 44s, and they also did those like Koas that were cranking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was weird. Like, we had Hal Leonard sheet music was always in front of us. And then they kind of got wise and said, hey, guitars with guitars, DJs with DJs. So it's a good energy around us. We get hit by a lot of famous scratch DJs who come through. We have performances like 3 a day. Our big one was probably Scratch Bastard back to back with Gaslamp Killer. That got a lot of people in the booth. I walked around. I think Jeffrey will probably agree, and I'm interested to hear him go into depth about this too. But the buzz of the show from a DJ perspective was speakers.
Really?
100%. It was all about speakers, because you had major releases from QSC, from Electro-Voice.
Yes.
RCF was there. They always make a good presence. LD, I don't know if LD had a release.
They had a 21-inch sub.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the buzz day one, and it had nothing to do with the social media aspect as much as Electro-Voice and QSC had released early. QSC especially. I haven't been on any social media without seeing 5 ads from them.
For sure. Yeah.
So that was a good thing to get a buzz going around the show. But overall, I mean, I love NAMM. It's a great opportunity to hook up with friends, people I've known a long time. You know, it's just, we'll see what they do next year. They might go to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I mean, I like all the pomp and circumstance. Justin from RCF gave me VIP passes to the show Friday night, the Jam. So you're talking seeing, in my world, the metal world, you know, guys from Bon Jovi, Whitesnake, Dio, Ozzy, jamming. It was phenomenal. Yeah.
So
I missed that. How was that? How was
It
that?
was great. It wasn't packed,
It was
though.
so busy getting in, though. So
Yeah,
kinda,
but once you were in, you were fine. It wasn't packed at all. And I was kind of like confused. I mean, you had like
the arena's
Donnie.
so huge.
Yeah, Justin told me they were going to shut the doors at 4,500. And
the arena this year was a concert versus.
yeah, well, it was last year too. Last year it was
Okay.
King's X.
Oh,
wow.
okay, all right.
That was awesome.
Did they have the shootout anywhere? Did they have it in the parking lot?
Shootout
They
of
had a shootout. I don't think they had a shootout.
Speakers?
They did, yeah, the speakers shootout. The last time I was there, I think it was 3-4 years ago. They had all the line arrays in the arena, and individually they would light them up.
Oh, no, they didn't do that this
It
time.
was just RCF, I believe.
Yeah, they had the whole arena for
Oh, wow.
the concert. I
Okay.
want to say they had some exhibitors in the sides of the arena, though, I heard. I'm not sure.
They used to put all the DJ stuff in the arena, or a lot of the lighting companies, DJ lighting companies, and they'll get stuff in the arena.
Well, I mean, now you used to go down to the basement and you would have a lot of import companies. Now, a lot of the import companies have moved upstairs
Oh, really?
and they're in Hall A with us, like behind us.
Oh,
You could walk 20 feet from my booth and see knockoffs.
nice.
I mean, Jeffrey, if they're not, tell me. I mean, they look like I saw Evolve 50
most of them
knocks.
are, like 90% of them are.
Yeah.
We're actually just dealing with one of the manufacturers, mainly for their amplifiers, but everything else is kind of.
It's just kind of like mass production stuff. And that's fine. I mean, you know, you got to have a little bit of everything.
I think a lot of that's OEM manufacturers too. Just
yeah, I think you're right.
It
But
looks
now in
that
the
way
basement,
when you're looking at it. Yeah,
You'd have to vet them out in order to get the seriousness of their what they do, but the amplifier line is pretty good. And then, I mean, that was the only one that I saw that was good. So,
Okay.
yeah, the basement's gone all like acoustic guitar like ancillary, you know, straps and some pedals, and you know, and it's cool down there, but it's not the old days.
sure.
but I think the improvement, like from previous, like the last couple of years, is that they stuck all the heavy pro audio guys in the North Hall.
Yeah,
or E.
which is upstairs and over.
Yeah, which is awesome because then all my meetings are could do it all in one day instead of like going back and forth to different places.
Sure.
Plus, they have demo rooms.
Yeah, the demo rooms are great. Like the QSC, you could see the KC12s. They did a great presentation.
Did you check out the EV demo room?
Yes, we just checked the sub hits really low.
Yeah,
Really low rumble. I have some footage that I was going to post online.
yeah. Mike, I met up with Mike up there, and he walked me through, along with 30 or 40 people, the whole demo. That Evolve
big.
70 and 90. That room is huge.
And
it's done well.
Jared does a great job. Yeah, DJ Jared, he does a great job.
Yeah.
I said hi. I was like, wow.
So Jeff,
But,
you mentioned that you've got some footage. Is that on your Instagram page, on your TikTok page?
I will be putting it on Instagram and TikTok as well. I just have to edit it. I mean, I don't have a outside editor, so I just do it myself.
Oh.
And last week, after I got back from them, we had a super busy week. So now I'll be basically late releasing all that. But I think it'll be worth it because the Evolve 70 and Evolve 90 were pretty good. The KC12 was pretty good. The RCF demo room was excellent. I mean, they had these like crazy different subs. Like they have a 16-inch sub and a 19-inch sub and then a double 19.
Really?
It's more for production people, but I guess DJs can go with the 16s, as like a step up from the 15s, and then single 19s, which is kind of different from a step up from the single 18s.
Those brains in RCF are fantastic. If they figured something out you know that they're innovating something, and everybody else is going to take a look. So tell us.
Their demo was great, though. Their demo was great.
It always is. That sold me. I personally use the RCF line array, and hearing them at the NAMM show is what sold me on them.
Yeah.
But so where can they go to see that? Tell me the name of the Instagram or the TikTok page. Is it?
Oh, our Instagram, Canal Sound Light.
Okay.
Canal Sound Light. We've been pretty popular on all the.
They have a great TikTok.
Yeah.
It's so great to see. Yeah, you open up the box, you demo it before it goes out the door. That's some good customer service right there.
We're just filming like whatever we do. We're not trying to have it overproduced. We're just trying to film like real life stuff. Just customers enjoying their purchases, and you know.
But I think that's the reality of it. You know, it's not a setup. These are the guys. They came into the store, watched, we're going to unbox it, we're going to test it, we're going to help them put it in their van and go. And yeah, I think that's the beauty of what you're doing right there.
Well, you're not going to get that at big chains.
Yeah.
And I think it drives business to more, I mean this in a nice way, not a bad way, the more mom and pop dealers than go into the big chains, because the chains are like, here you go.
Take it.
Oh, can I plug it in? What? Versus, we'll take it out, we'll show you how to use it, show you how to plug it in, show you that it works. Because you do get dead gear. I mean, I had a dead speaker at a show in Vegas in November. It was our speaker, dead gear. Showed up, amp was fried.
I'll never forget, like this, we plugged in a sub and there was no sound, and it was because we opened it up and the subwoofer, like the little wire, was not connected to the amp. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is the reason why we do this. Yeah.
That happened here too.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to have the customer find that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they take it home and then they have to come back, that sucks.
Right.
Now, and it's a bad rep on the dealer, but it's a bad rep on the manufacturer. So as a manufacturer, we love seeing, I've seen guys buy Odyssey cases from you, and it's like, here, so-and-so just bought a Flex 10 and an Odyssey case, and everything's pulled out, everything's plugged in, everything's tested. Guy goes and can go do a gig right then and there. Versus driving in New Jersey or Connecticut or where in the city he lives, and then he's got to go through that crap and then come all the way back. And it's like, we have to hear about it. You have to hear about it. I mean, nobody wants that.
I just did a video talking about the retailers and how, if you want to save money and get the best service, call the retailer. Don't buy online. Call the retailer. Talk to them. Develop a relationship, and you're going to have a friend for life. They want your business, and they're going to take care of you.
We'll earn it. We'll earn it.
That was a good video, Brian.
I've been to Jeffrey's store twice. It's a massive, huge. You just wander around there for days.
It's a fun
coffee lounge in the back.
Easy to park.
Great food just outside the door.
Hey,
I walk
every time I
twice.
go there, I get a ticket because I parked somewhere wrong.
We have valet parking.
Yeah.
Is that what those guys were
Sure
doing?
you do. Sure you do.
And it's convenient because there was a lot of guys with little tables selling like single, I think they were cigarettes. So it's not even like if you want to just have a quick smoke and coffee.
I love New York t-shirts for $1 a piece. It's great. It's amazing.
And then when it rains, that $5 umbrella guy popped out of that corner. I was like, thank you.
I was going to just add that I was talking to a friend recently who attended NAMM last year, and they were talking about trying to hit a different show every year. And my friend's a DJ, and they said, you know what? NAMM really wasn't the show for me. I'm like, well, it's probably not. Right. If you're a DJ and you want to go learn about products, maybe an end user focused DJ convention is more your speed. NAMM is more for the production guys and for the retailers and manufacturers to all meet.
So I mean, it used to be a closed show. Like Jeffrey could get in. I mean, NAMM stands for National Association of Music Merchants. So the only people that ever came to NAMM were industry. They might get a pass for their family member, but I think it's only in the last couple of years that you could buy a ticket and go to NAMM. That's very recent. The public.
Didn't it start off as like a piano convention? Like years ago, it was piano dealers. So you could go.
I had someone say they started going to NAMM in high school back in like 78.
Huh. Wow.
And I didn't even know NAMM had been going that long. And it used to be 2 shows. It used to have Nashville in the summer, which was very guitar driven and very small.
Well, Summer NAMM.
The winter NAMM, yeah.
Summer and winter NAMM. I think they still have Summer NAMM, but it's like violins and oboes.
They killed it. No, they're not
did
doing
they
it
finally
anymore.
kill it?
Just
Yeah.
after COVID, they found they couldn't support.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at, COVID hit right after NAMM. So we did NAMM in January of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And COVID hit like in late February, March.
Is that the
And
last
then
one you were at too, Eric?
That was, because you and I hung
me
out
too.
there quite a bit.
Yeah, the last one I was at too.
I came home and the entire town got sick. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
brought
that's
the
where
NAMM packs home.
I met John after that in February, and Brian was there too with me, and Howie was there.
Yeah.
I don't think Eric was there in Vegas for the Max.
Nope,
No.
I didn't do that one.
That first DJ Chill event we did, which is now marked 5 years ago to this month.
Yeah.
We started this thing.
I was
and
introducing Jeff to that earlier, telling him how did we begin and why is it called the Chill Room?
Yeah,
And really,
That's it. And it happened at Photo Booth Expo, and
Yeah.
it's based on that whole thing.
Right.
This was
And
COVID
it's-
group therapy, basically.
Yeah. But it's funny, 2021, we did an online NAMM in January. Then 2022, or later in 2021, I want to say, they did like June or something, and then it was something
Yeah,
weird.
you're right.
No, 2022 they did April, 2023 they did June, 24 they did January
Yeah.
for 4 days. It didn't really
I didn't
work.
go to those NAMMs because like we were starting to get busy again, and then like you don't do NAMM in like a off schedule. You got to do
Yeah,
it
not in June.
late January where nothing
Yeah.
else is
That one we're
really
all
going
working.
on.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of realized that. I'm really lucky. I'm friends with one of the managers from NAMM, and we were talking, and it's like, is this going to be another 3 days? She's like, for the time being, probably.
So for those people who haven't been there, and you say the North Hall, the South Hall, and this and that, the scope of this room, of this convention, is just absolutely enormous. It's monstrous. So when you walk into the drum room, you've got a basketball court size area full of everybody slamming on the drums, and every single not discipline, but
Maybe like 3 basketball courts.
yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. The first time I went, I just couldn't believe it. I was blown away.
The crazy part about it too is it's so busy, but it would be busy anyway because, and I'm not saying this in this literally, it's across the street from Disneyland. It's like literally right across the street. So you got all the Disney traffic and you got all the NAMM traffic.
Yeah.
You got to watch your mouth walking down the street, otherwise you'll offend families and small children.
It's annually, it's the biggest show up until COVID that the Anaheim Convention Center put on. And my first NAMM, I remember Korg. Korg has a lot of brands under it. Korg had the entire back wall of Hall B. So when you walk into the floor, now walk all the way to the back of the room, they spanned that entire space. It was maybe only 20 feet out from the wall, but it ran, I don't know how wide that room is, 300, 400 feet, 500 feet, who knows? But that's how big it used to be.
It's massive.
And then, this is a great example of, we're talking live now from all over the country. If Alex dropped in, we'd be talking all over the world. That makes it different. And a lot of people don't like travel. I do. So for me, I'd love to go to the show. But if you don't want to travel, Jeffrey could call up Pioneer tomorrow and say, hey, we want to take a look at these new products. Let's set up a Zoom to train my guys. And we'd set up me or somebody. We'd go online and we'd have the whole thing done. We wouldn't have to go to Canal Street and walk in and go, here, check it out.
I think I can speak for Jeffrey on this, but for many, many years, after Christmas, it was super depressing, especially living here in Wisconsin where you hit 0 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Now was something to look forward to. You're going to warm up for a minute. You're going to see gear, but you're going to get out, get some sunshine, warm up for a minute, and then you can go back home and you can work your way through spring. That was just kind of a nice distraction for a lot of people who live in colder regions. So I think some of us do actually like to travel and have the excuse to travel, and January is a great excuse to go to California.
Oh, I 100% agree, but I think from the manufacturing standpoint, because you going to NAMM is one thing, but the manufacturer paying drayage, hotels.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
It's NAMM is a very expensive show.
Yeah.
And the funniest part about NAMM that nobody ever mentions, to me at least, is a lot of the people that go to NAMM either still do or used to go to a show in Vegas in January called CES, which is the biggest show pre-COVID that Vegas had.
Consumer electronics show.
I mean, 180,000, and it's the consumer electronics, and it's packed.
Yeah.
And you get the major players, but we supported it as a DJ company.
Didn't you go, Eric, to CES?
I've never been to CES. You know, I've attempted, but God, I hit 4 shows a year, and I think that I cover my bases with that between like with LDI and NAMM and NAB, and I usually hit one of the smaller DJ shows throughout the year as well. But you know, one point that we really drive home here on this show is that a lot of this we wouldn't even know each other if it weren't for these trade shows. I met Jay 20-some years ago at, I don't know, one of the shows.
Yeah,
you know, we've formed this camaraderie and also this network and safety net of people that we have here.
I met you through Jeffrey, by the way, Eric. I met you through Jeffrey.
At one of the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I met you through Jeffrey.
I met Eric at, I want to say Expo.
Yeah?
Like I met Jake because he threatened me.
I threatened in Chicagoland.
Yeah.
I got all fired up.
Get ready to fight me.
I was all excited. I'm like, I'm in a video. And no one knew it was me, the famous bumping mom mobile or mom minivan.
Soccer mom mobile.
Soccer mom mobile.
DJ tips in a minute.
There you go. But that's the thing about the industry. And I think the funniest part is and Jeffrey could talk to this too. Yeah, there's that competition of we make this and this other guy makes it too. But when we do these shows, we're hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. I even get together with my competitors.
And you know what? I can vouch for this. I have seen Jeffrey and well, I'll just say it, Ben from NLFX hanging out and laughing and cutting it up.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Everybody's friendly, you know?
We're not real competitors, you know.
No.
I mean, Justin and Mike.
colleagues.
Yeah.
But that's it. Justin and Mike from RCF and EV, they're buds.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with
I had a great
Chris.
conversation with Robert from IDJ Now. And
right on.
We had a great conversation.
Yeah, I saw him there.
Yeah.
Kevin was supposed to go, but Kevin pulled a no-show at the 11th hour.
Robert was the one responsible for introducing me to Quincy Jones. So, I mean, it's all about connections.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really is a small group of us who go to these things.
Yeah, we all know
you know
each
what I mean?
other.
You really,
But you know,
I
as the
learned
years
that
go
maybe
by, you know, that's why I more appreciated this year than other years. I don't know why, because maybe getting older or something. I look forward to seeing everybody. You know, sometimes you only see these people once a year, and then nowadays with people getting sick so much, you know, you just never know when's the last time you see somebody. Like there's one person that I was looking forward to seeing. You know, Yamaha, he wasn't there this year, so you know, hopefully he pulls through. But you know, these are the kind of things that I look forward to, seeing the people. Like, yeah, seeing the product is cool, but as you continue to attend the shows and have passion for the industry, forge relationships and stuff, like, you know, it's nice to see each other online, but it's also good to see each other in person and shake each other's hands and give each other a hug, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see Jeffrey in April.
Oh, yeah?
You coming back out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see
March 20
or March
6th, 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, but you know, I used to. Do you remember Mike May from Rain, Jeffrey?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I would see Mike at all these shows when we did a lot more shows, and it became like habitual. And like Mike would come up and be like, "Hey, man, I saw that new DJ 800 mixer. Man, I love that. I love that. Congratulations." I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much." And I'd go over and be like, "Man, this, you know, 3018, man, I love the wood on it." And like, you get along in that way. You know, I was hanging out at the In Music booth at the show. They were there. They haven't had an open booth in a minute, you know? And again, it's like, I've known those guys for 20 years And I don't think of them as competitors. I just think of them as, like you say, industry colleagues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a good time. I mean, believe it or not, NAMM, there might be some drinking that goes on at night. I've heard stories. I can't say I remember any of them, but I've heard stories. Rumor is.
I actually got the pleasure of having dinner with your colleagues at Pioneer.
Who'd you go with?
With John Powell and
the president
and the Chris and
Shapiro. Yeah, great guy. You saw me. I was the waiter. You didn't say hi. You thought I said hi, but
we went to this crazy restaurant called Anaheim White House.
Oh yeah, that guy's famous for doing a spaghetti charity.
Yeah, no, he's cool. I read the story. He's amazing.
He feeds homeless kids that are living in like hotels with their family that's homeless and stuff. And we're talking like tens of thousands of free meals a week.
He's been honored so many times.
It's insane. And he does a big drive for spaghetti, for like pasta and sauce every year. And he gets like pallets donated.
It's really funny. I remember having like tomahawk steaks with Jeffrey and chicken from Canal.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember who took us. But I remember being with you and chicken at this place.
Yeah.
I can't remember who took us. Might have been Adam Hall Group at the time. I don't remember.
Yes. It was LD, I think.
It was the old Adam Hall Group. Yeah, the old crew that was here. But
the original group, yes.
Yeah. Johnny Dive and them, yeah.
Howie, we're hitting our 30-minute mark, Howie. I know you like to wrap it up in 30.
Oh, there we go.
So we can keep talking. I think we've got the right group here tonight. We've had a nice little, conversation. And Jeffrey, glad you got the chance to stop by and meet all us.
He has nothing else to do.
On Monday nights, 10 o'clock.
I have a 6 a.m. call tomorrow.
You guys, you're welcome to stay and talk. One thing I forgot to do in the beginning is thank our sponsors, which would be
DJ Event Planner,
the event planner, and you know what? We've got people that are loyal to us that I think deserve a mention. Pioneer, certainly. And Jeffrey Kwan. We see him all over the place. I bought a Marantz stereo in 1970 from Jeffrey's dad in New York. And I was like, wait a minute, are you talking about the one on Canal Street? And he goes, yeah.
The hi-fi store.
The hi-fi store. That was my dad. And I was like, wow, how
still working.
I was going to say, it probably is still working.
It probably does.
It is.
Weighs 800 pounds, but it's still working.
You can sell it to a hipster for $75,000.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Both Jeffrey's parents are still working. Who's the boss of the store, Jeff?
Mom.
Yep.
It's always mom.
Upstairs.
Outwardly, they'll say that I'm in charge, but inwardly, it's different.
Mom.
I just real quick, I went into his store. I was there in September of 23. In fact, I'll tell you, it was on 9/11 because I'd walked from Yotel up near Times Square down to the memorial and then back up, and I saw Canal Street, and I'm like, oh, I should go see, Jeffrey and the guys. And I walk in the same outfit I'd worn at Expo, just the Dickie shirt and pants. And it took no time. They're like, Jay, what are you doing here? I'm like, hey, what's up? Is Jeffrey around? They're like, no, he'll be back in a minute. And they just hung out. And Jeffrey walks in and he's like, hey, what the hell are you doing here? I'm like,
it's like that.
Just like that. Just hanging out in the city, doing my thing. I'm just going to walk back.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for tuning in and come and chill with us on Monday next week. And tomorrow night is the music show with Brian S. Red. And I'm glad to see you got your name back there anyway, at least. So